It's March, which means we're due for another Minecraft Hogwarts update. Before we start, make sure you subscribe to this channel to never miss one of my monthly uploads, and also to follow me on all my social medias, linked in the description down below. Alright, let's get right into it. I started this month with overhauling the headmaster's office. Let's take a look at the old version I created about 2 or 3 years ago. I know it's been a long time, and I thought it was way overdue. I wasn't a big fan of these shelves lining the walls, these bookcases, the roof that we see, and also the back room. With all these problems, I felt like this was a priority. Right away, you can see a few of these changes. I first started out by changing this pensive area to look more like the Goblet of Fire film, as well as the Order of the Phoenix. I tried adding in these bookcases to look more like shelves, and I also added this dimensions. If we take a look to the right, there's a few more shelves that I've got here. I try to make them look a little bit different from these side ones. I think the clay works well, and also, again, these layers with the shelf blocks and the door frame works perfectly well in my opinion. I next added this campfire, which has always been there, and I have no clue why I never added it in the first place. Of course, did this new little table with a few different things on it, but let's move up a little bit further. I tried making this area look a lot cleaner, but a lot more open. We've got new bookcase blocks on the left, as well as these shelves to add another layer of dimension, the window here, and this is copied over on this side as well. This layer is supposed to have a circular ball here, but I didn't quite know how to do it, so if you look at the movie it's there, but in here we're going to leave it open for now, because I think it still brings out the openness of this area. I also did this new ceiling area with these new railings up here at the top. Not really quite sure why, we just never really see the ceiling in this area, and I thought it looked pretty nice. The last thing I did was clean up this back area a little bit, nothing too fancy. Near this area, and building off of what we built last week, we're back in the spiral staircase inspired by Hogwarts Legacy. As I showed last video, it leads up to the headmaster's office. In Hogwarts Legacy, there's these little office areas with a bedroom off to the side of it. They're quite spacious, and there's only 2 of them, so I'm not really quite sure for what teachers they're for, but they're definitely for the teachers. In my Hogwarts, I go under this staircase, and here's my little area I built. If we go off to the right, you can also have this little bedroom area, and let me also show you the other one I built. This one's got a little bit more room, and it's got the campfire, as I mentioned before, some things dotted around the place, and if we go into this back room, we get another nice little bedroom inspired by the game. Moving on to a few minor changes, I've added many more trees in the Forbidden Forest area, now mostly connecting to my 3rd maze task in the Triwizard Tournament. I'll keep working more on filling this out in my pastime, but again, I'm trying to leave a little bit of gap in there so that when you come down to the surface, it's nice and open and there's still room to maneuver. We're next in the corridor near the Transfiguration Courtyard. If we move through here, we're going to soon come across a little statue, right here. Now, you may not think it, but this project is 6 months in the making. The goal was for when you pass it, to start wave at the player walking by. I originally tried to use redstone to clone one armor stand with his hand up and then clone one with it down, and then swapping it back and forth. This proved to not work. Many months later, I had the idea to use lecterns. These lecterns are set to a certain book page, which then, using this comparator, sends off a certain redstone signal. This comparator then relays that information to this armor stand to make it do its certain pose. For the armor stand to track where the player is, if we come down here, I use this command block that senses when a player is in the area, sends off a redstone signal that goes from one motion of the armor stand to the next, back to the first, back to the second, then up, down, and so on for a few different times. After I figured that out, the waving statue comes to life. Also, the Hogwarts Legacy account commented on my post, so that's no big deal. To finish up this month, I have a few more builds that I built, and that's including here, Classroom 11. This is Classroom 11, also known as Firenze's Divination Classroom. In Order of the Phoenix, when Trelawney gets fired by Umbridge, a new teacher has to take her place as the new divination teacher. So Dumbledore hired the centaur Firenze. Since he can't walk upstairs or ladders, he put this room on the ground floor. When you walk in, it was said that it almost looks like a forest clearing. Trees and moss fill the space, but you can still see the windows and the ceiling. I'm quite fond of this room, and this was my 2nd attempt at it. We've got these rocks and logs that students can sit up against that face the front of the classroom here where Firenze would be teaching. At certain angles, you can almost barely tell that you're even in a classroom in the first place, and so I think that is the perfect way that this classroom ended up. Next up is what is known as the Fat Ladies Corridor or the Gryffindor Common Room Corridor. This is what it used to look like. It's really quite boring and flat. You can really see that in the walls. I fully redid this corridor and added some more depth in these walls with the windows as well as over here on this flatter wall. I think it really makes this hallway a lot more welcoming, and that was really the goal because of how important it is to the Gryffindors and how much time they would be spending in this corridor. Now, you want to see a secret? Let me walk through here real quick. That is right. There is a new secret passage. It linked the Fat Lady Corridor on the 7th floor to this hallway on the 4th floor. It's inspired by this note on the Hogwarts Wiki that from one of the older video games, a secret passage connected the Fat Lady Corridor to the 4th floor corridor behind a bookshelf. Now there's no bookshelf, but it really wouldn't fit the vibe that I've got going. Building these types of passages is something I really want to start doing more because I almost feel like it makes Hogwarts feel a lot more alive. Especially how easy it is now to walk through Hogwarts and get to different floors very quickly. If you want to see the redstone real quick, if we go under here, we've got another command block that tracks when a player's near. It sends off a signal that removes the blocks, then after a while, it just replaces it. It's really that simple. The very last thing I built for this week is remodeling the Room of Requirement hallway near the Hall of Hexes. The films have this scene where Filch is sitting over there and the camera moves to over here where that is where Concrevy and the students are coming out of. We also get many other great views of this hallway. Looking at some of them, we have these pillars here that really were really thin on my version. I decided to make them 3 blocks wide with a bit more dimension. It also gives the ceiling a lot more depth because of these pillar-like rafters that are now scattered throughout the place. I extended some of these hallways a little bit more, but you really wouldn't notice that unless I was putting these right up next to each other. Now when you're walking through, I think it looks a lot more grand. It definitely brings together the Room of Requirement wall that I've got here, and if we just keep going further, it just brings together this whole area. And that's everything I've built in the month of March 2026. The new HBO trailer came out only a few days ago, so I'm excited to potentially start building some more things that we see in that trailer and series, maybe when even more photos come out. Make sure to check out some of my new breakdowns, and thanks for sticking with me throughout this video, and we'll be back to see you next month. I've been The Wizard Project. Thanks for watching.